I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. After I found out that Krypto's involvement in this movie is based entirely around James Gunn's own inability to train a dog, I really lost all faith in it moving forward. Hey y'all, SnarkyJay cosplay here. As of the time of this video's recording, we pretty much just got the new trailer to James Gunn's Superman, which is releasing this summer in July. Now, as I said in my opener, I really don't have a ton of faith in this one. Still not super convinced by David Corenswet replacing Henry Cavill, and I've been pretty honest on this channel that I'm not a big fan of James Gunn, his sense of humor, his weird tweets, or the nonsense that he writes into most of his movies, but either way, DC gave him the keys to the kingdom. He is the guy making this Superman. There's really not much anybody can do about that at this point, so I figured, why not sit down together, watch the trailer, react to it, we'll go through it. I'm sure I'll have things to nitpick about. I've been super excited to see this, so I'm glad it's finally up. All right, catch you on the other side. Why didn't that work? Hello? Well, this is embarrassing. This normally doesn't happen to me. All right, let's just click it this time. There we go.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some might. It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed.
Okay. I'm sorry. That suit is still f***ing terrible. Okay, what David Corenswet is doing right now is fine. Okay, I'm okay with that. I love Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane already. I really like that. But the suit, still not doing it for me. Maybe we get a better one at the end of the movie. I don't know. The point is, I don't like that. And I also think some of the CGI here looks a little bit wonky. I'm gonna keep watching, obviously. We got another 2 minutes of this, but let's see.
Interviewed Superman? Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of the United States.
I wasn't representing anybody except for me and doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
God, that suit is so Party City, babe. No.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
You know, maybe I'm just not a Superman person. I think that's definitely part of it. I'm gonna go ahead and acknowledge that bias from the start. I'm not a big Superman. I'm like way more into Batman and characters that aren't big red and blue Boy Scouts. What's that line about Superman and Rapper's Delight?
May be very sexy or even cute, but he looks like a sucker in a blue and red suit.
I'm sure that joke only hit with people over the age of 40. You're welcome. No.
Your choice.
I know people are gonna get mad at me about the dog, but I'll say it. I'll say it. You know what? Listen, you can look this up, okay? James Gunn apparently adopted some dog that is such a pain in the ass that he apparently had to be doing his script writing on the kitchen counter because the dog was biting his ankles or whatever. Scruffy looking little guy like this. I get it. I love dogs. My own dog looks like a f***ing hyena, okay? I'm not one to talk. But like, if I was gonna cast a Krypto, I would cast probably like a big Labrador looking thing, which to me is kind of always what he looked like. And then I would also make it not look like Superman hasn't been able to train a dog. Seems like an easy enough task. How are you gonna lead the Justice League if your own dog doesn't listen to you? Figure it out, buddy.
Your actions.
It's cute.
That's
I like them.
what makes you who you are. Superman.
I love him as Lex Luthor. I love Nicholas Hoult. I feel like he's gonna rock as Lex Luthor. I'm sorry, maybe I'm the only one that feels that way. But of all the things that excite me about this trailer, there aren't many. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, for sure.
He's not a man. He's an it. He's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
Yeah, I hope the explanation... Why won't it pause? I hope the explanation is, in fact, that is the suit that she made him, because we all love the women in our lives. You know, I've never told any of the women in my life that I didn't like a plate of food that was served. Not every meal has been perfect. That suit sucks. Ma Kent, we gotta teach you how to make some cosplays, Miss Ma'am, because that is just not it. Guy Gardner with the bowl cut. Iconic in the worst way. That's such a great shot for a trailer that I think is not all that exciting.
You have a dog?
That was cute. Okay. Alright. I still don't like the dog, but that's really cute. Alright. And because mine is harassing me right now, I might as well bring him up for the rest of this. Hi, buddy. It's hard for me to talk about any of this without automatically being accused of being a Snyder fanboy, fangirl, whatever. I did not like Zack Snyder's Superman. Personally, I thought Zack Snyder's Superman was too dark. I feel like this Superman is moving in the right direction of being that brighter, typical Superman. That's just who he is, right? He's a hopeful character. My issues, though, are the following. I know how James Gunn writes. And again, the fact that we have a dog that's literally a self-insert does not bode well for the rest of the movie. On top of that, we do need a dichotomy between Superman and Clark Kent himself. Clark Kent has to be the clumsy one that makes mistakes and is goofy, and Superman should be a little more stoic. And I'm kind of getting the vibe that both Clark Kent and Superman are the exact same person in this. I will say, however, that even though David Corenswet might not be doing it for me and that the suit is so ill-fitting, I want to focus on the fact that if you look at him in that shirt, the guy looks stacked. He very obviously put in the gym time for this, and then you put him in that suit and he looks like a little boy in pajamas. It's just a horrible suit. I think it's terribly designed. I don't like the colors. I don't like the structure of the suit overall. The tighty-whities over the suit, I don't give a shit what anybody says. They feel super vintage and I'm not a fan of them. And that kind of puts a damper on the whole thing, because if Superman doesn't look great, then that's already a strike against him. My biggest worry for this movie is that there's just too much crammed into it. We know that this isn't technically a Superman origin story, and I don't need another Superman origin story. Just like Batman, we already know the origins of Superman. The problem is that it is this Superman's first outing, and it does feel like there is just too much going on. There's too many characters. You got Guy Gardner, you've got Mr. Terrific, you have Lex Luthor, you have Hawkgirl, you have all these different characters already being involved, and it just feels like too much is going into a first outing for this guy. The movie, to me, seems like it might feel a little bloated and overstuffed, when what I'd like to see is a little bit more of what kind of Superman this guy is. I think the drama aspect to it seems interesting. I like that we're getting that sort of superheroes overstepping kind of thing. I mean, that's always been something that some of these films have touched upon, but it's a theme that I'm not exactly tired of, because I think it does sort of ground a character like Superman, who's really fantastic. It grounds him more in our universe, and we're kind of able to have better conversations about it. Like I said, I don't think this is a horrific trailer. I don't think it looks bad even. It's just underwhelming to me. I really want to be more excited about this than I am, but I think I just have this internal bias already about James Gunn and James Gunn's work that is probably stopping me from enjoying the trailer more than I should have. And I will say that I don't think a lot of the things look particularly great. Besides Superman's suit, there are just some moments in CGI that look kind of weird to me. And again, a lot of these kinks tend to get ironed out by the time they end up putting the movie out. A lot of times when they're doing a trailer, the CGI isn't 100% finished. But from what I've seen, a lot of this just looks kind of meh. If we consider the fact that this is the first movie for this new reboot for the DCU, and on top of that, it's going to be a summer blockbuster, and it's going to be Superman, arguably the most iconic comic book character of all time. He's probably just tied with Batman at this point. If this movie does not make like $1 billion in the theaters, I think it's really going to start to tell studios something about the superhero genre and the audience no longer responding to it. So more than looking forward to seeing the movie, I'm actually just looking forward to see how it performs, because I think it's definitely going to send a message to the studios, and we're going to see shifts in content production depending on how this film performs, especially when it's coming out around the same time as the Fantastic Four. Either way, as far as that trailer's concerned, I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. I guess I'm just kind of on the fence about this whole thing, which I'm aware is not a super exciting viewpoint, but I'd much rather be honest about my meh feelings towards it than flame it unfairly or put it on a pedestal that I definitely don't think it deserves to be on. Either way, we only have a few more months left until this comes out on July 11th, so hopefully we get some more content about it before then, but if not, you guys already know I'll be here to review it. And that's all from me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more SnarkyJay, be sure to check me out on Instagram, and if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoot sets and cosplay content. I'll add links to all of those in the description below. I want to apologize for doing this whole outro one-handed, but I'm currently holding my dog from sliding off my lap, and let me know your thoughts on this Superman trailer in the comments below.